what I want to do is start to cut the plywood at 1-inch strips. Okay, so I'm going to set up my guide. I'm going to start cutting some 1-inch strips and we'll go from there. Okay, now I've cut them all into 1-inch strips and I'm turning them edge up, trying to get the whole thing together, see how it looks, getting it all prepared to get glued together. So far, everything looks really good. I think this is a good thickness for the cutting board. All right, now I got my glue out. We're going to glue everything up. Use plenty of glue. Don't use it sparingly. It's not going to hurt anything if it seeps out. Just takes a little longer cleaning it up, but it'll be great that it all sticks together nicely. Okay. Put it down generously. Keep filling it up. Then once you have it all glued, then we're going to put them together and clamp them. This is a tedious process here, but it's necessary. Since then, I've bought a different glue machine to put this down. It's not so much a machine, but it has a hopper with a roller. And that's also in the description now, to where you can get that. You'll see that in one of my newer videos. And the glue comes out really nice. Matter of fact, it's in the colored... Oh, I haven't put that video up yet. All right, now you start flipping them over. Edge up. And you put it at about a 45-degree angle. This is important so that when you go to cut it, it's going to make the nice chevron pattern. So you just keep putting them about an inch apart, an inch off, somewhat. You know, it's not perfectly 45, but you'll make it 45 once I cut it with the circular saw. And then we cut it on the table saw. So it's important to get this all lined up nice, and then we clamp it all together. All right, now let's see if we get these clamps to work good. Gets a little tricky, but these first 2 clamps will help hold it, and then I'll add some additional clamps to it. Okay, so now tighten them up. And then I try to keep them flat as possible. A lot of sanding is going to happen after all of this, but that's okay. Now let's add all the other clamps. Okay, now we're going to let it dry. All right, I let it dry overnight, and now I'm going to use the belt sander on it. I think I'm using an 80 grit, trying to get all the glue off. Okay, now they're all glued together. All right, some high and low, but I'm going to sand it all down. Now we're going to cut this on a 40. Here. So now it can go through the table saw. Okay. Now, cutting through the table saw. The wood is at a 45-degree angle, so it just goes along the fence and cuts them pretty well. I believe I've cut these also an inch thick. It's going to look really nice. Now that you have them all cut, I lay them out on top of some other wood just so I can see the pattern, making sure that I have the size that I need to be able to cut it out. I wound up with a few extra strips, which is fine. I'll make something else with them. All right, now you flip them all over. This way you're able to glue them together. Now you don't glue the first one, you leave that one out because the glue will be on the second one. Once it attaches, it'll be fine. All right, we're laying out the glue. Again, I'm just using a hot dog roller to put the glue on, and there's a better way to do it. I bought a little device that has a little hopper on it that you pour the glue in, and it has a roller and spreads out the glue nicely. I really like it. It's in the description, so if you would like to purchase that, and I have many other things in the description also. Okay, well, put your glue on generously. Don't worry about it. You're going to sand off all the excess anyway. It'll be fine. Okay, now that you have all the glue spread out generously, now you need to start putting them together. So you're just watching your pattern because you've already set it up so that each time you flip it over, it becomes the pattern that you're looking for. All right, I like the way this is coming out. It's working out really well. Okay, so continue this process and you'll be clamping it all together. You'll be clamping it all together. This is all part of the process, but I'm really enjoying it because I really like the way it looks right now, and when I'm completed, I think it's going to look really, really nice. I'm making this cutting board for my wife. I made one for each of my children for Christmas, and I decided to go ahead and make this one for my wife. She's the one who taught all of them how to cook and bake. Okay, well, let's move. It's got to dry now. I let it dry overnight. Okay, I have some high edges on this, so I'm gonna first start belt sanding it with 36 grit, then 50, then 80, before I go on to my orbital sander. All right, let's get started. I'm done with the belt sander and it's all nice and flat. Okay, all nice and flat. All right, next I'm going to cut off the two ends. Okay, got those two sides done. Okay, now I'm going to start off with 80, then go to 150, and finish off with 220. Looking great. All right, let me dust it off, and then I'm going to put the mineral oil on it. I think it's coming out quite nice. Okay, now we're going to use a food grade mineral oil. Alright, building with Papa. Like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Give me a thumbs up. See you on the next one. I really like this. Also, when you do this with the mineral oil, you're going to want to do it a couple coats. 2 or even 3 before you use it. And then when you're cleaning it, after use, clean it and then use this again. Right now, it's just absorbing all the oil in, which is good, but it is sure showing that chevron pattern, making it look really awesome. I really like this.